Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm rhickey28. Welcome to the YouTube channel. On our very first roster update video, we were right on 3 out of the 3 guys that we said were going diamond. Alek Manoah, Joe Musgrove, and Pete Alonso all went diamond. Out of the silvers that we had, 3 out of the 5 went gold. So not a bad ratio, not a bad start to the roster update predicting. Today, we got our early predictions on the next roster update. I believe the next roster update is gonna be on June 24th. So we got ourselves about 12 days, almost 2 weeks before the next roster update. I wanted to get in some early predictions. Right after the roster update drops is usually when the prices of cards are at their lowest. So over the 2-week period, they start to rise a little bit, and I got some guys that I'm predicting are gonna go diamond or at least get a boost, and we got some guys that should go gold during this update. Now, of course, anything can happen, especially with 2 weeks left. These guys could get really cold. I'm trying to give you some guys that I am going to invest in and guys that I am keeping an eye on for the next 2 weeks to see if they're gonna get upgraded. If you enjoy this content, please give a thumbs up to the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Comment down below on anybody I may have forgotten. This way I can keep an eye on them too to see if they end up making the cut on the next roster update video. So let's start with the guy that we predicted last week would go up at least a couple points overall. He did not move. They didn't upgrade Shane Bieber. He has been absolutely on fire recently. He's an 81 overall. So yes, it's gonna take quite a strong bump to get him to that 85 level to get to diamond, but honestly his numbers have been absolutely incredible recently. In 4 out of 5 of Shane Bieber's last 4 starts, he's had over 10 Ks per 9. He's also given up much less walks per 9. He's only got 2.22 on the entire season. He had a short outing in his last start, only 4.1 innings pitched, but he only gave up 3 hits, no walks, and he struck out 6. Shane Bieber is fast approaching diamond. I figured he'd be an 83 after this last update, but they didn't want to touch him. So we still believe. We still believe? That's not good. The next gold that we're looking at that is going to possibly get the bump up to diamond is another guy that everybody actually expected to go diamond with the last roster update. There was a ton of people that were predicting that Zack Wheeler would get the bump up. His Ks per 9 are not really reflective of the season that he's been having. He did get a +3 bump to Ks per 9. That's really not enough for Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler is on the precipice of hitting that diamond level. He needs his Ks per 9 to go up, and his first start since the roster update, 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. That's 12 strikeouts per 9. If he keeps doing that, Zack Wheeler is absolutely getting the bump to diamond in this update. The next guy we're looking at is maybe the hottest pitcher in baseball right now. Sandy Alcantara has been on fire recently. He went from a 78 silver all the way up to an 84 gold. I'm assuming the reason that he didn't just get the straight bump to diamond is because they didn't want to set a precedent of silvers possibly making it up to diamond in one update. The biggest things that we need bumps to are strikeouts per 9 and walks per 9. Honestly, both of those stats are really low on Alcantara, so he can easily continue performing. He had a start a couple days before the roster update. We don't know if it was included in the actual roster update itself. I have a feeling it wasn't, because he should have gotten better walks per 9. His last start was a 9-inning performance, 6 strikeouts, and no walks given up. His previous 3 starts, 2 walks in 7 innings, 0 walks in 8 innings. 2 walks in 9 innings. The man needs a bump to his walks per 9. He deserves it. If he just continues striking out batters at the clip he's been for the past 4 games, 6 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, 14 strikeouts, and 7 strikeouts. He's been pitching a lot. He's been doing his thing. Give him a little bit of a boost to strikeouts per 9. Give him a lot of bit of a boost to walks per 9 because he deserves it. And let's get Sandy Alcantara to Diamond. In case you haven't noticed, this is actually just full of pitchers. This week, we are believing heavy in our pitchers. We're hoping that everybody just has no hitters left and right, honestly, because Tarik Skubal is our next pick. Skubal's biggest flaw right now is his low Ks per 9. My man just got the bump up to 83 gold. He only needs 2 more points to get up to Diamond. He can very easily do that. He's got 9.59 Ks per 9 on the whole season. And his last game, he had 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. He had 6 strikeouts in 7 innings the start before. He had 5 in 5 innings, and then he had 11 in 6 innings. Those were his last 5 games pitched. He just keeps striking out batters. He's getting better and better. And the more he strikes out batters, the more likely is that he's going Diamond. And the last potential gold to Diamond that we're going to talk about is a little different. Yes, he's still a pitcher, but this time he's a relief pitcher. Edwin Diaz's biggest problem has always been his kind of lack of control and giving up too many walks. So 48 walks per 9 is super low. His hits per 9, his Ks per 9 are both at 100 and then 105. He's not going to get any boost to either one of them. What we are counting on is for him to stop walking people. And you know what? He already had a great start to that. His last game, which was on the 10th, he had 1 inning pitched, 0 walks given up. If he can continue doing that, he's gonna do great. His last 3 games, he walked nobody. He did walk 1 on the 29th, but then right before that, no walks. Then 1 walk, then no walks. If he can just keep it to 0 walks or maybe only the occasional walk, then Edwin Diaz is an excellent candidate to get the upgrade to Diamond. I'm a guy that's a little afraid of change, so let's stick with 3 more pitchers that are all silvers that have a legit shot to go gold. Let's start with our boy Sonny Gray. His biggest problems are his lack of walks per 9 and strikeouts per 9. So far on the season, he's had 10.43 Ks per 9. That's really not bad at all. If he continues striking out batters over the next 2 weeks, he's got a good shot to start to creep up a little bit. And those walks per 9, if he can continue to keep them under control. In his last 3 games, he's only given up 1 walk. That is 19 innings pitched and only 1 walk. Sonny Gray is streaking in the right direction, and there's a good chance that he continues to not walk people, and there's a good chance that he can strike out a few more, and maybe we can get that +1 bump to gold. Continuing with the pitcher trend, Tony Gonsolin. He just got the bump up to 79. His biggest problems are his walks per 9 and his Ks per 9. If he can continue getting batters out and not giving up hits, that 102 hits per 9 anchor is really strong for him. All he's gonna need is a slight boost to walks per 9 or Ks per 9. So far in the season, he's only got 8.53 Ks per 9 and he's got 2.84 walks per 9. I will say this confidently, 2.84 walks per 9, he should get a little bit higher than 52. I think that's really low. 8.53 Ks per 9, maybe 60 is around that number. It's not so terrible, but if he can just start striking out batters at a slightly higher clip and he can continue not walking anybody, then he's gonna be in great shape. In his last 4 starts, he has pitched 24 innings and only given up 3 walks. I think there's a legitimate chance that Tony Gonsolin gets a boost to his walks per 9. If he just strikes out batters a little more than he has been on this year, then we're going to see a solid increase to Tony Gonsolin. He should get that +1. He should be a brand new gold. Our final pitcher that we're going to be talking about is Daniel Hudson. He's been having a fantastic season as both a closing pitcher and a setup guy for the Dodgers. On the season, he's got 11.51 Ks per 9 and only 1.77 walks per 9. In the past 5 games, he struck out 2 in each game. That's an insane clip of 18 strikeouts per 9 over the last 5 games. Daniel Hudson should get a bump to his Ks per 9. He's been striking out batters left and right, and in his last 9 games, he's only given up 1 walk. That 1 walk did come in the last game, so that doesn't really help our situation. However, hopefully that was attributed to the last roster update, and he can continue pitching and dominating in the pen for the Dodgers, and that should get us a nice little investment. That should be somebody that goes gold in this next update. He's well deserving of it. He's having an excellent season. Let's see a little bump to the strikeouts, a little bump to the walks, and we'll be good to go. I know what you're all thinking. Wow, has this guy lost his mind? He's talking about a hitter. Yes, we're here to actually talk about hitters as well. A couple hitters that I got on my short list of guys that I'm looking at for possibly getting the bump back up to gold. One of them is going to be Bryan Reynolds. The place that Bryan Reynolds is really lacking is contact versus right. So far, he's 2 for 6 since the last roster update. It's only a 333 average, but it's something that we got to look at for Bryan Reynolds. If he starts to hit against right-handed pitching, he is going to get the bump up. As you can see right here on the inside edge, +8 to contact versus right, +8 to power versus right. If he can just hit for a little bit more power, and if he can just get base hits against righties, he's gonna get that bump right up to 80. You see it right there. He also has room to grow on the power versus left. He's actually hitting 500 against lefties right now since the last update, 3 for 6. So his contact is already at 81 versus lefties, so we're not really focused on that. If he can get a little more power, maybe 1 or 2 home runs in this roster update period, it's possible that that 55 power versus left gets a little bit of a bump. And then if we get the bump from the contact versus right, Bryan Reynolds is in a prime position to go back up to becoming a gold player. Alejandro Kirk is the last silver to gold possibility that we're talking about today. Kirk may very well be the best catcher in the American League right now. He has been off to a really great start, especially the past couple weeks. Yes, he just got the bump up to 78. He got a big increase in his contact versus both right and left, and he got a solid increase to his power versus right. But what we need now is to just keep an eye on his power numbers over the next 2 weeks, because if Kirk can continue to pump out home runs versus righties or versus lefties, or maybe both, get himself some doubles, maybe some triples, if that slugging percentage goes up, then Alejandro Kirk has a real chance to reach the gold level. He certainly deserves it. Like I said, probably the best catcher in the American League thus far. In his last 9 games, he's got 4 home runs. Can he continue that pace? Probably not. But if he just keeps knocking pitchers around a little bit more, it's not going to take much of a boost to his power to get him up to that 80 level. It's way too early to tell if these guys are going to continue to be hot, if they're going to continue to play as well as they have been. Because as we know, in baseball, anybody can go cold right away. But these are my 10 predictions right now for guys that are going to get upgraded. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, if there's some players that I overlooked, because I know there is. And I'd love to hear your opinions. I would really love to keep them on my short list and watch and monitor the players that you guys are talking about. We're doing this every Sunday. I'm going to have the guys that I really honestly believe are going to get the upgrades next week. So we'll have more of a picture of how the past week has gone for them and how really their whole seasons have been. I'll also stream on Twitch almost every night at 11 p.m. And if I don't see you there, then I'll see you on the next video. Good night, everyone. The clock just fell.